Today we are at an MRI. It is a pelvic MRI because about 2 weeks ago I've been suddenly woke up and couldn't put any weight on my right hip. So I went to ortho, and then ortho did x-rays. I have a fracture on one of my hip bones and hip dysplasia, but she does not think that that is the culprit for the pain because it's not necessarily in the location of my pain.
The dysplasia's been there since birth, but the fracture
it's new, but not super new.
It wasn't there on January 30th.
We don't know
couldn't be
what the issue is, so she wanted to get an MRI to determine, or just determine what it is, or get a closer look. And until then, I have been using my chair inside because they couldn't get the MRI scheduled before the DC trip.
But it has improved a lot.
I can actually put some weight on it now, but we're still not certain what is what at this point. Okay, I've got this giant broccoli plant right here. Okay, we're building our fence, so ignore the mess, but yeah. And then I've got all these. The giant broccoli it's not producing, and I don't know why. And I'm hoping that the other ones are not going to follow suit because I planted 30-something broccoli plants, and now I'm not going to have broccoli. Our tomatoes have only produced one tomato. I'm documenting my gardening fails with our tomatoes and our broccoli.
Yeah, the broccoli's like a damn beanstalk.
Yeah, there's no head or even side shoots. Because different varieties of broccoli are known for their side shoots, but the little broccolis,
little,
they don't look like they're coming to head either. We are harvesting our first yellow squash that actually produced, and they look honking. Let's see if I can bend down here. Because, ow.
Told you they have spikes.
Okay. This looks like a pretty good sized squash. Hopefully it'll taste good. Selena will have to be the judge of that.
Yep.
Okay, then I got one more. And this one's the honking one. We're missing the handle plunger jig.
I'll get it in a minute. You want to explain?
We have garden fresh kale over here, and we have so much of it that we're making juices for Selena to boost his immune system. So he gets to drink it whether he wants to or not. I haven't done this in a very long time.
Bring back memories.
Because I used to do this for myself.
Back when your body worked a bit better. I'm sorry, baby girl.
It is what it is.
You want celery or anything?
Do we have it?
Yeah.
I'm not going to put celery in it and do that to him. Because his mom made him drink like a big glass of celery juice every day for some time. And he always complains about celery now.
Says we'll get there at 6:45. You can go ahead and park wherever you like between the PVC pipes. We have restrooms and concessions at the rear.
Okay.
If you do get out, we ask that you practice social distancing and keep your masks on.
Yes.
Thank
you.
you. Have a
Enjoy.
great evening.
Selena and I always go to the first or second.
You want to be in the
Second.
middle?
Yep, right here by this blue car.
We are at the drive-in movie theater for a concert. But it's not just any concert because it is a social distancing concert where everyone sits in their cars and the concert will play on the movie screen and you tune in via your radio in your car and you watch from the safety of your car. It is a Garth Brooks concert and I don't even listen to country music. I am more of a rock gal myself, but I don't get out much, especially now, even more so. So I'm desperate here. And
Tom Selleck. I'm gonna have to put it, I guess.
okay, so on Facebook, one of these
Because I did.
a family friend, well, actually it was my old kindergarten teacher, but had posted for everyone to put a GIF or GIF or whatever people call them of your childhood celebrity crush. And so my mom and I,
That is when I really had the crush on him. Who was Mom's
okay, that was my
celebrity?
mom's celebrity crush when she was a kid. Who is it again?
Tom Selleck.
Okay, then there's me. There's mine. Jonas Brothers. Okay, what else was I saying? I was talking about the concert and how desperate I was. Oh, Salvino was supposed to come too, but he couldn't get off work in time. He even went in early yesterday to try to make sure he could get off in time today. There's 1 minute, 18 seconds, 17 seconds. And drunk people yelling Justin Bieber.
And Garth.
Did you hear?
But we're also going to play a ton of cowboy songs. And here's a cowboy song we love. Hope you remember it. Hope you liked it. The song was called The Beaches of Cheyenne.
There you go, Cheyenne.
The GI transplant team had one trick up their sleeve for my liver, and that was to try a med called Actigol, but it's an oral medication, and I am on a 24/7 continuous G-tube drain. So anything that I do through my stomach or mouth that goes to my stomach kind of just vents out. I can't really stay disconnected from the drain too long, not more than an hour or two, because then I start obstructing. But we're clamping off my tube for 1 to 2 hours to try to get as much of the drug in me as possible. And the drug is normally used to dissolve gallstones in people with a gallbladder. I do not have a gallbladder. It's supposed to make the liver release the bile so it's not sitting there, calling
Yeah, something like
cholestasis. Because I do have cholestasis. It's basically like gastroparesis of the liver. I've been taking Actigol for 2 days now. This will be my 3rd dose. At first, I just literally opened up the capsule and spilled like a pinch of powder out and mixed it and put it through my tube just to test to see if I'll have anaphylaxis from my mast cell disorder. And I've done a little more each time I've done it, and so far so good. I'm now up to nearly half a capsule, and you'll only be able to appreciate this if you have a mast cell disorder. Water can be a problem. Whether it's on the skin, because I sometimes have issues there, like in the bathtub, or drinking it. I can't find a safe water right now. I keep rotating and can't go to the store because quarantine right now. So been mixing my med with juice because this is what I tolerate right now. And with mast cell disorders, there's no rhyme or reason to what we tolerate sometimes. Some people can tolerate like a Yoo-hoo but can't drink water, and it's ridiculous. But normally I don't tolerate fruit juices, but this one I did okay with like 2-3 sips. So it vents out, of course, when I've taken my sips. But this one's Strawberry Peachy Keen by Honest kids in the juice box.
We got it. This is how much we're doing.
We didn't have any
Mixed
more.
with...
And then I can't find water I tolerate right now, so we're trying to mix the maybe juice.
Deuce.
Juice. I'm at my follow-up appointment to go over my MRI of my hip. Guess we'll see if I have any other fractures aside from the one that they found on the x-ray that probably isn't even the cause of my distress. I don't think there's another fracture. What's your guess?
Oh. Shoot, I don't even know anymore. With you, they no telling.
But I didn't expect to have a fractured hip bone in
I don't
that
expect half the stuff.
in that location last time.
That's a bone bruise. So you got essentially a bone bruise. So see the left, how it's darker.
Mm-hmm.
You gonna get a picture? I'll make sure.
They didn't find a full fracture. It's a bruise, and I have to stay off of it for 4 weeks because if I do a bunch of weight bearing, then that could cause it to become a fracture. My other side of my hip began hurting, and that's because I overcompensated. He kept telling me that that's what I
She
was
kept telling the
doing.
doctor that you were in the wrong department
And
and that you need to be in ortho, and you just keep fighting it.
And so that's the deal with that. So I have almost fractures, and I have to stay off of it
You
and
treat
use
it
my
exactly the
wheelchair,
same. She said another 6 weeks.
and that's annoying. But they found something unexpected. I have a mass next to my uterus, and that was accidental, so I'm being sent to have a CT scan, and then that CT scan, depending on what it shows, will lead to another appointment, because a mass next to a uterus or in the bowel area is obviously
But she
not her
said
field.
Is it like reproductive or is it like bones or what's going
It's
on?
soft tissue.
It's
They said it could
2.7
be
by
a pocket of-
3.3. It could possibly be an organizing hematoma, but a mass is not excluded at this point. It's posterior to the uterus, so there's a chance that it could be bowel, but if it's a hematoma, that would make more sense for it to be bowel, in my opinion, because that's near my resection area, and I've had ulcerations and bleeding issues because I've been having GI bleeds from the inflammatory bowel disease problem since February. But the CT scan is supposed to show us more. I finally worked up to the full dose. Well, not the full dose, but to 1 whole pill, because I'm supposed to take 1 pill twice a day of the Actical, and my tube broke right here, so we've got it taped and rigged until I can get the replacement. But so far, no mast cell issues that are significant. When my new nurse comes out to my house to take my labs, which should be this week or next, we will see if there's a difference in my LFTs.